Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for Chapter 2 of our custom Liokaiser. In this episode, in this chapter, we're going to look at this guy. It is the right leg of the combiner, and this is the lad known as Ironbison. He's going to be our focus along with Bisonbreast in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, man. And while you're at it, that's right, hit that notification bell because it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers, Collectors, and L, the Autobot family, and have a look for me everywhere across social media. And this is Ironbison. I'm going to call him by his proper name, Killbison, because that's who he is. I don't know if it was a trademark issue. I don't know if it was too violent of a name for kind of regular retail release in North America or what the issue was. But to me, this is Killbison. And it's an alright Killbison. He was missing his partner, which you can see is now pegged into his chest. We're going to talk about what I did to allow that. We're going to talk about what I used. Hint, it's Siege Ravage. We're going to talk about what I did with Siege Ravage to make him into Bisonbreast, and we're going to talk about just how well this guy works as a version of Killbison. It's a whole lot to cover, so without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And you can call him Ironbison if you wish, but I'm going to call him by his actual name, Killbison. And of course, he is accompanied by Bisonbreast, which is his little beast partner that makes up his chest piece. And I attempted to kind of color that as much as I could to match the animation model as much as I could, which was a mix of largely silver and red. It is attached, of course, to his chest. And we've seen this mold a bunch of times before. We're going to just remove his breastmaster, and we're going to just take him off. And very first thing to note is that this is the Combiner Wars Brawl mold. Now, some people like it, some people don't like it, and that's fine. I looked at Brawl originally way back a long time ago in episode 79, man. And I said then that his paint was about a 9, but I did a bunch of custom work on him. In this case, the paint is not bad. Like, it's the right coloration, the right sort of mix in terms of golds and silvers, but his lower body is sort of backwards. The lower legs should be silver, with the thighs being the goldy, mustardy, yellowy color. Here it's turned around, but I think it's to its credit. I think it works out pretty well rather than having like a sea of yellow in the middle of the body. So I'm going to say overall, it's not bad. I'm going to say in terms of an iteration of the character, it's about an 8. It's pretty good. You definitely know who it is, even if a couple of the placements, like the lower legs, and the upper legs for that matter, waist down we'll say, is a little bit off. I said that the articulation originally was about a 7. Well, you know what? It's the same thing here. Still about a 7. We have a head, of course, that can go left and right. His little ear pieces there can kind of open and close. The arms, they go all the way around, way out. We have a swivel because of the ball joint. We have an elbow. Not the most functional elbow in the world. Actually, it's probably a bit better than a 7. I'm going to say an 8 also for his articulation, because this guy does not have the loose waist hips issue that Brawl has. It's actually pretty secure once you get it in there. The legs go all the way forward. They can go way back. You can bend to 90 degrees. Thigh swivel, ankle tilt. Everybody says like, we never had ankle tilt before Siege. Yes, we did. Just, it wasn't regular on everybody. But we did have it. So an 8 and an 8. The original transformation. Let's because I have him back heavy is why he doesn't want to particularly stand well. An 8 and an 8. The original transformation was an 8.5. I'm going to say the same thing here. Of course, we don't need to really go through it. Everybody knows this transformation. So this is how he looks in robot mode, as bent over as he is. I have that done because I put one of the hand-foot pieces here on the back. He's supposed to have two like cannon barrels. This gives him kind of the two cannon barrels. You can take that out and use a smaller blaster here to give him two cannon barrels. Of course, he comes with one already because it's that brawl mold. And you can get, I believe, a 3D printed add-on part to give him the proper dual barrels. It wasn't that big of a deal to me, but of course that would help his his animation accuracy just a little bit more. This is how he looks in robot mode. He's still pretty good in tank mode. Silly me, I said tank mode, but before tank mode we have arm mode, which is basically this. It would plug in, the waist gives you a bicep swivel. If you turn the legs the right way, you get a double elbow. We all, I think, know this by now. It's fine, but this guy is not even supposed to be an arm, so don't worry about it. Now tank mode. There you go, tank mode. Glorious, beautiful silver paint here on the treads as well. A lot of paint on this. I think it looks great. Nothing else really to say. I'm quite happy with it. Now, that being said though, that's not the only part that we have here. No, because we do have his partner. We do have the bison breast, and we'll kind of see how that can go attached, or if it can go attached here in this mode as well. The last thing to show is leg mode, and leg mode quite simply is the tank stood up with the front of the tank folded behind, or the rear of the tank, I guess I should say, folded up behind, the foot piece on. Again, if you wanted to put it on sideways, you could do it, but you lose the knee bend because this bends this way. So it would be up to you. Now, what about his partner? If you haven't guessed yet, his partner is the Siege Ravage mold. Slight alternate transformation position of the legs in this mode. In terms of the, a lot of silver added by the way, and some red. In terms of the head, I took a piece, in order to get those two horns, I took a piece of wire like you would find in like a plastic like garbage tie, a twist tie thingy, and I attached it to his head using Bondic, and then I coated it in Bondic, and then I painted the whole wire and plastic piece, and that's what sort of gave me the bison head. It does not need to turn completely back into the cassette mode, but it can get an approximation of the chest mode, and that's really all that mattered to me. How can this interact with the larger Killbison? Well, quite well actually. You saw it in the chest. We'll see how it is in the other modes. In terms of coloration, a lot of custom paint work done here, but I'm going to say, I don't know, 8 I guess, if you know the character. In terms of transformation, well, it's that Ravage mold. It's not a great mold, but it can do an approximation of a thing, so 5 or 6 I guess. In terms of articulation, the legs do move. You know how the Ravage mold works. The legs do move forward and back. They can kind of go out to the side because of the transformation hinge. The head can move up and down. I think it's fairly versatile for what it is, and with its many limitations, I'm going to say that overall it has an articulation of, I don't know, 5, 6. On the whole, we can say that this is a bit of a strange duo now put together, but I think it works pretty well. To average out the two scores, Bison Breast is about a 6, Ironbison is about an 8.5 overall. When we average them out, we could say that they're overall about a 7.25. But because I'm in a good mood, and I'm glad to have this character, who makes a functional leg by the way, and holds together quite well as a leg, and because I'm glad to at least now have an approximation of his partner, I'm going to be kind and say overall now, as an embodiment of this duo, it's overall about an 8. And that might be good enough for me. And here we are once again, and I said we're going to take a closer look at this guy, but I suppose I really should have said these guys. Admittedly, the Siege Ravage mold is not great. I did have to build a horn on this guy as a bison, and I think that worked out all right. I would have liked to have built it larger, probably a little more pointed, but it needed to be able to convert into this kind of configuration to go into the chest. Using a small rotary tool or a low power drill worked fine for kind of getting the, I don't even know what you'd call it, oval-ish hole in that combiner peg. It does not affect the combiner ability at all. Some custom paint apps were definitely needed. And this is about as accurate as I was going to be able to get with this mold. I also think that the little Siege Micromaster mold that I use here is probably the best one that is at least currently available in order to pull this off. In terms of the larger Killbison himself, it would be nice if they had somehow remolded this whole section so that he had his 2 cannon pieces, and I do believe you can get like a Shapeways add-on set for those 2 cannon pieces. His lower legs, the colors should be reversed, having the yellowish goldy color up on the thighs and the grayish color down on the lower legs, but again, within the limitations of this mold and what we're working with, it turned out alright, and this guy's torso is far more solid than other uses of the mold. A lot of people complained about Brawl being very loose. Mine's not bad, never was. But every other version of this mold that I've had since has worked out alright. I think he's pretty functional. All of his joints are fairly tight. He has a good range of motion. It's a respectable version of Killbison. Could have been slightly improved for animation accuracy. And, of course, it should have included his partner. Nevertheless, as it stands now, I'm pretty happy with him as a robot. I'm pretty happy with his partner as a chest plate and as a version of Bisonbreast. And as a leg, it's as fine as any of the Combiner Wars version legs that use this mold. Anyway, let me know what you think about these guys. You know I love to hear from you guys. As always, thanks for dropping by. Give me some of your extremely valuable time. I know how important it is to you. Trust me, it does not go unnoticed. Please hit that subscribe button, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there is a donate link down in the description. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every day you do make a difference, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together, either in the live streams at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way for chapter 3, right here inside the videos.